Um, yeah, we lost the food in the house game yesterday pretty
Oh
hard.
shit!
So
Damn, no,
because
fuck
no
me all
countdown,
up, bro.
we're just rolling right in, boys.
Fuck me
Rolling
all
right
up.
in.
All right.
So yesterday we had I had a like little birthday John because I'm gonna be in Connecticut in the Great North for my actual born day. And so it was the Houston homies and my work fam. And we went to this seafood place called Mambo's. And boy howdy, let me tell you,
Oh,
that food was fooding. So it's seafood spot, right? And the portions are large. So for starters, we got the table got, so it's like 8 of us, I think, total. So for starters, we got the mambo shrimp, right? And shrimp with the skin on, which is annoying, but whatever. Dipped in the most decadent sauce that you've ever had, right? That you've ever put your lips to. Hey, yo. Know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then I got pretty much like a ceviche, stuffed jalapenos with it was like fried with stuffed crab and like some cheese John situation in there. Then we got like mambo rice for calamari and huge ass pan of just like mambo rice, and it's still like their version of fried rice. And my coworker got like habanero added to it, so it's got like a subtle heat. Whole fried red snapper. I got like a fried fish plate. I think Beam did too. And God, I went right to sleep when I got home. I couldn't do anything else.
I'd imagine
so long. Oh my god!
Right, I did the whole thing. I just gave up. But like by the time we got home, it was like 8 o'clock, and I'm just like, all right, I got this. I went to Specs. I bought 2 bottles of wine. I had intentions, right? I had goals, dreams, hopes,
aspirations,
big plans. Big plans. I watched the latest Bleach episode, like of the 1,000-Year Blood War or Blood Revenge, Blood Arc, whatever the fuck. Mm-hmm. And oh boy howdy, after that 28 minutes.
How cold, huh?
I was looking like Stanley from The Office. Bean, what was your impression of Mambo's? Your first time, or my first time too?
It was actually better than I expected because I've been hating a little bit. I gotta admit, I've been hating. I feel like I was spoiled by fish in New England.
No, that's
I feel like right. If you're not near like good water, we already know. Man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But I guess this place was like Pacific Latin American fusion.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, this is it's saucy. It's got some sweet and spiciness to it. I've been wanting fish and chips for months. They don't call it fish and chips and mambo. It's Z-style. Getting down with that Z-style. He's talking about the rice. The joint got shrimp, chicken, and pork in it all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
the special
what are y'all
rice
doing? Oh,
that sounds
my goodness.
all the savory goodness.
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah, I just had the fried fish, the fried chicken. It's just like, man, people be fucking up some fish, bro. Y'all be.
So my only question is, this is the first time you guys been to Mambo's out there. Mm-hmm. Is there more than 5 of them?
There's more than a few, yeah.
I'm blaming Jeff on this one.
This is a local Texas
is
chain.
Mambo number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Where are they?
I think we went to the 5th one. We were definitely at Mambo.
It sounds like you guys. There's no other way you guys were not at Mambo number 5
because
was my only question.
And also the service was great. Like everything came out relatively quickly. Like by the time we had barely finished, we were heavy breathing from the appetizers by the time the food came out. So it was a good ass time. So if you're listening to this, we're gonna make a Houston TikTok maybe one day. Mambo's, you got to check that shit out. Can't wait for you to come back because we're gonna take you for certain.
Yeah, well, that sounds amazing. That all sounds really good.
Have you done anything cool since the last time we've podded, Cruz?
I wouldn't say cool because it's been hot as fuck over here.
Oh, shut your mouth talking to me. fucking is hot. What's hot?
Yo,
Okay.
nah.
No, let's calibrate. What's the temperature been for you to say that is hot?
So for me personally, anything over 75, get me out of there. But
Okay.
over here,
So
like, get me out of here. Yeah. But over here, it's not too bad today, but like this week we had like some really hot, like it was like, I think 89 felt like 95, 88 felt like 97. Like it's just been all over the place.
Yeah.
And I think, AC's on full blast.
I don't know what it means to not have my shit on.
Yeah. And I think like the world, like planet Earth, broke records for the most consecutive hot days or something like that.
Right. You know, you're right.
Rather,
for planet
put
Earth
it in
going
the,
for
in the
gold.
Discord,
No.
That's nasty. Why are you clapping for that, bro?
No, we don't.
I'm surprised you guys didn't fucking melt. You guys have got it a lot worse than we have over here.
We breaking records out here.
Right.
Not the kinds of records that I'd like to be breaking, but I digress.
Mm-hmm. Yo. I mean, yeah, terrible records being broken. Everything Bad Everywhere All at Once, the sequel to a great film.
Yo, even like, so I was being lazy about last episode. We were talking about, grass and cutting it all the time and homeowner shit. And not too hot, nasty.
Mm-hmm.
I waited and waited and waited. And then I almost let it get too far out of hand. And I think like a week and a half ago, I went out. This was after work. I came home, like chilled out for a little bit, and then waited for it to be not hot as balls out, which never happened because it stood hot until like 9:00. But it was less hot when I went to do it. And I was like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to go do the front and the back, and I'm going to cut, and it's going to look clean. Y'all finished the back, and I was like, oh, fuck this shit. The front could look like shit for another week. Fuck that. It was too fucking hot out there, man.
Yeah,
I can't imagine. All that to say, I can't imagine what you guys have been feeling these last few weeks.
Listen, I bought these blackout curtains. Yeah, and life has been different after these blackout curtains, let me tell you. So if you are struggling, an easy thing to do. And I remember I was there when helping Beam install his blackout curtains. Like, listen, it will definitely
makes a difference. Does it keep the cool in?
Yeah,
keeps the cool in, keeps the hot out.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hot out too, yo.
Bro, it's
and double power because blackout curtains take all the light out. So you actually get better sleep if they're in your bedroom. I put some up in my bedroom too. Pitch black.
I've been thinking about not in the bedroom, but like out here in this area that my desk is in. There's like a little prairie dog window, and then there's like a really big window off to my right, and like we have the AC running up here, but if just fucking gets hot, science, heat rises. It's gonna be hot up here in the attic.
No, yeah,
that
just
big ass
run
window lets in so much. Like I have to face the AC towards the window. Maybe I get some blackout curtains to alleviate.
Easy.
Bad
Go to
pod.
So here's the scam of, because you know how everything is a scam. Here's the scam of curtains. So I was traumatized. Right. Okay, I'm the kind of shopper where I'm going to the store for one thing, but I'm down to get a bunch of shit not on my list. But if you don't have enough of my main components, I'm going to dump my cart and leave. That's the kind of shopper I am. Kind of an asshole. I'm sorry.
Terrible. No.
Most of the time, depending on how far into the store I've gone, though, I will go back and return all of my items to their correct spot because I have worked in retail and that is shitty. So like sometimes I think it's more egregious that I do that. Like I am so done with your store. I'm going to spend more time in it, not shopping, actually putting shit back properly on the shelf before I leave. Because that's how done I am.
Yo, but real quick to interject, they got people for that, bro. They don't have no cashiers. What do you think everybody on the floor is doing? Just leave that shit.
Yeah.
No,
I mean like within reason. Don't like leave a complete mess, but they got people for that, man.
Fill up.
They do, and sometimes I've looked into their eyes and I've seen things that I can't unsee. And so I'm just like,
workers.
So I say,
I never do that at Costco.
You always
Never.
say that,
I've
you always check
never
out
left the cart at
But in the
Costco.
same breath, I'm always returning my cart to the cart return please thing. in the
Me
parking lot.
too. Me too.
Always.
That was actually going to be one of like the pickup lines on my dating profile. Like, I
I'm
heard you
always
like a bad
returning.
boy, but I returned my carts to the thing.
I bring my shopping carts back to the cart.
Right,
return.
like that was if I were
funny.
still on the apps, I definitely would be using that as an opener. Like, you know,
Yeah, nah, that's crazy. They got people for that. That's why they're not at the cashiers, is to do that.
nah. But so like, I went to Bed Bath and Beyond, right? And I went there for something.
I'm right
Yeah,
there with
no,
you.
it's
I'm right
it's
there
sad.
with
It's a
you. I'm
sad
right there.
situation. We'll find out in 2 days, Beam, if this was all for nothing.
We will.
So yeah, I went to go take advantage of the fact that they're going under, and so I think I went specifically for. Oh yeah, I went for curtains because that's what the fuck we were talking about. So before I got to the curtain section, I already had like a refill of my the CO2 can for my soda stream, several soda stream flavors, an air fryer, a garbage can, no, a laundry hamper.
Jesus.
All of this before I got to the curtains. And so like not only was I thoroughly unsure of the dimensions for the windows because I didn't have a tape measure. They were only selling single panel curtains, and after the discount, them shits were still like $25. And I'm like, fuck out of here. And then I just went to
Jesus.
Costco, and like, yeah, I dumped the car. I didn't like,
All right.
I didn't put any of the shit back. I just left
I
my
don't
cart.
understand this. You can't
and
even be
then I
mad that they're going under. You can't be mad.
Yeah, I almost had so much unnecessary shit.
What's wrong? Yeah,
Bro,
all right.
they had like UGG
Crazy.
comforter sets for like $80. I'm like, oh, I need this specifically because it's UGG and it's on sale. Like, I promise you, if they'd have had just a 2-pack of curtains, like 2 of them, I'd have spent easily like $400 in Bed Bath and Beyond that day.
Yeah,
But
bro,
God
they need
saved
it.
me. I needed so many things.
So
And nothing-
speaking
and
of
none of-
scams, goddamn
Mhm.
blackout curtain scams, they want you to have like 6 to 8 of them, right?
Right.
And they
What,
want
like
you
layered on top of each other?
like how, you know how you have the pole on the top that holds the curtains,
you got
right?
the curtain rod.
They come in sheets. They come in like rectangular sheets. So you're really supposed to buy like
Just stack them.
6 of them and then stack them next to each other so you can have more like ability
Blackoutness?
to bring in the exactly, bro. And not only that, the curtains don't even come with the rods. You gotta buy the rods separate from the curtain, and then the little jewelry things on the side. They got microtransactions for that too, so you can like customize the side.
Microtransactions for
Man,
curtains.
microtransactions everywhere.
So that doesn't come as a surprise.
Yep. Listen.
Crazy,
We have
and
it
it works
like,
so well. It's how to
decorated
get
fully,
away with
but
it. It's broke the
So
industry
we have
in
a
3.
dilemma with curtains in our home because we have a fucking cat who's a. Don't get me started.
Jump.
Just be fucking shut up, bro.
I am
He's an
so,
asshole.
people make fun of my cat because she's a big one. She's a big girl. But she don't be jumping on shit, and I
No.
appreciate that.
Everyone loves.
She don't do counters.
Willie.
She don't do curtains.
But-
Like, she don't do none of that. It requires too much energy.
No, Willie does all things that we dislike. It's just so bad. But he's such a sweetheart, though. There's
so
such
funny.
a catch-22. Like a double-edged sword in cat form for sure. Because he's a sweetheart.
I mean,
He
yeah,
loves
all
everyone.
cats are a double-edged sword.
But
That's the
yo,
best thing
what a
about them.
fucking dick he is, man.
What has he
So-
done recently? What's your last a fucking Willie
So
memory?
we're talking about curtains. He ruined the fuck. Like, so he like over time he's ruined the curtains that we have in the living room, which is whatever. Like, we kind of like that comes with the territory. But this motherfucker, like, the curtain rod anchors on one side, just so they're supposed to be, you know. Let's say this is the curtain rod anchor right here, right? This one's fucking down. It's like curtain rod's all fucked up, yo, man.
God.
Yeah. And then he shits next to the litter box or like when it's full.
Yeah.
He's a fucking asshole, man.
Yeah.
Love him, but he's a fucking asshole. He ruined
That's
cats.
so
We're never getting a cat after him. We're done. with
Really?
this. Really?
Well,
Never
I mean,
gonna get a
Howie's
cat
never
after
gonna die. She's gonna live till she's 200. So
him. Amen.
I'm never gonna.
I'm glad
live
she
with
doesn't
that, 'cause I
stress you
won't
out like
even-
Willie stresses us out.
Yo, honest compared, I'm so grateful for how we like. The only thing is that like we're just early birds, and like our routines are really early in the morning, and that's the worst part about her. Like after 4:30, she's fine.
No,
She's
yeah,
good for
Willie's
another
just
12 hours.
he like again, like he's a sweetheart, loves all people, loves pets, loves cuddles, but man, he's a fucking princess, yo. Like if his litter box isn't spotless like day after day, I'll have just cleaned it and he'll fucking shit some he's a fucking asshole. And then he's greedy as hell. Like he's always crying for food, like
Right.
he's
Yeah,
starving.
because Willie's bigger
Like
than
you look at
Howie.
him and obviously he's not starving. So yeah. So all right, back to the blackout curtains that they scam you with because you have to get multiple of them. That I'll
like,
still keep
and
the
there's so
works.
many windows in
So
houses
many
and
windows.
apartments.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
I didn't mean to go off that far left, but
No,
he
that's
just
funny.
warranted it.
We
I
just
hope he
the
heard
streets needed to know how you feel
I
about
hope he hears me.
Willie.
Bring him on
He's
the pod.
probably
We need
shitting
answers.
next to his litter box right now as we
He's
speak.
just
Like,
fucking looking.
he's like,
into
I
my
hear
soul
you.
while he does it. Yeah, we'll see who's gonna give
From
him a can
Willie.
later. I could tell you who's not gonna feed him. This guy. He'll cry all night. Don't worry, Denise will get him or Kaylee.
That's ridiculous. Oh
It's
man.
perfectly fine.
What about you, Beam? Have you done anything cool since the last time we podded?
Man, so many cool things. Like I can't even keep track of how many cool things I've done.
Wow, you're so fucking
live
cool,
such
bro.
Cool and
Talk to
interesting
us.
life that I have.
Talk to us, bro.
Played a little Rocket League.
Yeah, it's so cool.
So cool.
No, the coolest thing I've been doing is I'm back on the TVs. I've been listening to a lot of music and I've been watching a lot of TVs. I've been kind of weaning off of video games, to be fairly honest. Don't go into a giant anime bag because then I'll get confused and start yelling. But I did start Dragon Ball Z Kai, and I am restarting Naruto.
Okay, that's a good.
I only made
to
it
get your
like
feet wet.
somewhat through the first
Okay.
season, but then I forgot about it, and then I'm going back. I saw you, Jeff. I
So-
prefaced it so you wouldn't do this. Don't do this.
I'm not gonna start yelling so you don't get confused. I'm gonna start yelling.
Start
though.
yelling for other reasons.
Right. There are so many other reasons. So like, why did you pick those particular shows?
Because I need to be brought back. I need to find the love for anime, right? Because I'm on a
Okay.
TV watch, right? I've been doing JoJo, right? And then I was watching Cyberpunk too. So there are others, but I specifically started both of those shows. And it felt I'd never seen Dragon Ball Z Kai. All I remember is the original Dragon Ball Z, and then Hulu
So
told
from-
me
From what I
Dragon Ball
understand,
Z Kai, brand new.
yeah,
Dubs.
Kai is like an up-res, like upscaled, and like they cut a lot of filler out.
Yeah,
I
I feel
understand.
like that's a good
What
thing
if
for
I
me
were
to
to
just put on
say-
in the background.
What if I were to say you could watch Bleach instead? If you're gonna do a long show,
Bleach was a Toonami show, right?
mm-hmm.
Bleach.
If you do, I mean, I don't think I can move you on Dragon Ball Z, like especially for what you're saying to be brought back in. But instead of rewatching Naruto, right? Because you don't need to do that. You can. The
I
only
never
thing
finished
really,
it. I never got through
Oh.
the first season. I never even.
Oh,
I don't know nobody except Rock
then
Lee
yeah, you got to
with
do
the
it.
hands.
Oh, then that's the only thing that matters.
You got far enough.
Just-
then you
like,
got
Just
I
far
did
watch
get pretty
his
far.
fight.
Maybe
His
I could
fight
just
with
push it
Garo
through.
for the culture, like I do every 6 months, and watch the episode. Like, there's an episode where Rock Lee gets drunk.
Oh, that's
And,
one of my favorite ones.
That's
He's
where I got
Fist.
the
Now I'm
tattoo
getting
from. Is
confused.
like him when he
Drunken
went
Fist,
and
Rock
got
Lee
drunk. Yeah,
is goaded. Yeah.
Ultimate Hand, Rock Lee. Ooh, yeah. All right,
Childish
never mind.
the way he was. Yeah, all right.
I will take back my yelling. I will let you have this. I can't wait for you to enjoy it, friend.
Yeah, dude, that's good. That's a
Is
good.
Bleach on Hulu?
Yes,
Oh, my man, then. I can do that.
and it's dubbed.
Love
dubbed.
that for me.
You will need a filler guide for Bleach. Just
Oh,
forewarning.
Jesus. Oh God.
Just saying.
What
Unless
is it,
you
like
watch the filler
1,000
episodes.
episodes.
Oh no, it's not that bad.
Okay.
It is currently my summer put on in the background show, and like 1,000 Year Blood War is like the current like Bleach Run they're doing, and that show
it's not
just
over.
looks so good. You don't really need the full context of Bleach to watch the new one.
Gotcha.
It's beneficial, but like not necessary because they do a pretty good job of back-explaining what's happening and who is what, etc. Cruz, what about you? You've been animating, right?
Kind of standing one anime, but yes, animating per se.
So what are you
We
dabbling
finished up Demon Slayer. My
Mhm.
heart, so good.
Seriously,
they
Tanjiro's tears could fill an ocean.
Oh my god, dude! It's, but also Tanjiro could fucking he's got to become a Hashira now. Tanjiro. So the main character in Demon Slayer, his growth from when the series started to now is insane. Dude's gotten so strong. And what else? I'm trying to get back into Jujutsu Kaisen. We watched a couple episodes. Denise fell off.
Word.
And I've been getting ads and stuff that the new season just dropped. So
did it?
What better time to get back in? Yeah. New season just came out. I think it's on Crunchyroll. I don't know if it's on Hulu.
It would make sense that it's on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, that's it. That's the only animes I've been watching.
That's fair. I'm excited for the homies. Like, we don't have to make this a whole big anime soapbox because y'all know I would love to. But
we gotta set aside an episode for that. We got stuff on the docket to get to.
Other things, right? Because once upon a time we were exclusively like a rap music podcast, and we talked about it almost exclusively. Let's get back to our roots. To our roots. To our roots. So. Actually, yeah, I think a hard pause now.
Yep. Then we could just bring ourselves back in with the next topic.
Yeah.
Yep.
But for the sake of like, if we have to cut the episode, we at least have this set up so we can do the take. All right, I'll be right back.
Word. I just put the marker down. Let's chop it up in Canva.
Good call.
Yeah. So Kai and Naruto, that's definitely Dragon Ball Z Kai. I feel like that's good comfort food in terms of anime.
That's about where I'm at with it. Yep.
Right. Just something familiar.
And I can get through it quicker. And then I'll probably skip some of the like lesser shit. I really just want to see the upscaled version of the Frieza fight and the Cell fight.
Yes.
Like I want to live it from the beginning again.
That's a good chunk of episodes. Just those two arcs.
Those arcs, right? So I'd have like, because we're gonna be traveling, so got plane rides and fell asleep with it on yesterday. I'm gonna just kind of make my
download some episodes for the go.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell Proto to fucking start watching Demon Slayer because I think he said he just finished Naruto recently.
That's what Varissa keeps telling me too. Demon Slayer.
So good. And it's not a crazy commitment. They're like 10 episode seasons.
All right, I am back.
When are we going to get back to it? So I'll hit the marker again.
In
What's
5.
The, next topic. Oh.
Which one?
Spider-Verse.
All right, cool. Marker added.
So we're getting back to our roots of being a podcast that talks about and cares about music. So it has kind of been a very quiet, I don't know, listening experience for the streets. And this is just like long overdue. And so to preface, Metro Boomin, Across the Spider-Verse, the soundtrack. Now, I also just want to quickly acknowledge the trend that we are seeing of just like different specific artists being tapped to do soundtracks for things. We obviously Kendrick Lamar's Black Panther. I think Future did the soundtrack for the movie Superfly. We have Metro Boomin doing this. I love this specifically. I'm sure Tyler has done the score of different films, but never like with his name on like the soundtrack. But how do we feel about this trend before we get into the particulars of this album, of like specific like tastemakers being allowed this level of like influence into the movie experience?
I guess I have to check in with the old people who was doing the music. I got to check in with those musicians and see how they feel about it first before I form my opinion. Because did y'all just get beat from a job, like movie music people who went to school for music producers?
I wasn't even there, bro.
Did y'all just
think
get
about those people
just to give your job to somebody who's rich already, who already is? But on the same token, people of color, Metro Boomin, Kendrick Lamar specifically, getting that kind of go ahead to show their chops, which I don't hate. So, you know, it's like a balance. But I'm definitely gonna have to check in with Disney's in-house music team.
The Teamsters,
how they doing? Yeah, the team. See how they holding up with this all this inflation, and what are they doing with their life? Because I think about and this is not a joke. This is kind of a joke. It's not really a joke. I think about Destiny and Halo, because the guy who made Marty O'Donnell, who made all of the Halo music in-house, Bungie orchestrator, in-house Bungie producer, he made all of it, right? And Halo music and gameplay was the thing. And then he started making the Destiny music, and then Bungie had that giant blow up where Activision came in, and you know, Marty and his team were like, hey, we're making this music from the studio in-house, and Activision's like, nah, we're just gonna go get like a rock metal song from this famous band, and we're gonna throw it over an action-packed trailer. They're looking at y'all like, well, Marty and his team looking at like, yo, we've been doing this shit. Like we brought Xbox up off the ground, off the music and the vibes, and like,
yep,
everybody knows the Halo song. Everybody can sing the Halo song.
Very
so
iconic,
like he got put out of a job because, you know, Activision came in and was like, nah, we just gonna take a rock song. We're not gonna take none of your ambiance. We're not gonna let you get in your bag and make original pieces and original soundtracks for this game. Like, you either get with the program and help us put these rock songs out, or you're out. And then they fired him. So like,
you gotta like, that had to have been like a cost thing, right? It had to have been cheaper to get the license for whatever songs they're using than it was
always
to
a
pay
cost
this
thing.
Entire orchestra.
He was there
and
and
mixing and mastering.
Bungie's in-house producer. Like he was an employee of Bungie. At that, well, in that specific example, maybe when you're talking about like newer movies, you may be onto something for sure.
I got to imagine that might be what, or that's at least a piece of it, right? It's always a money thing. But was it more cost effective to just license this whatever song it was for this new game versus just paying you're already paying them your in-house,
right? You just got to give them the assignment
of time to make, you know, a new score or a new soundtrack or whatever it is that they're already there to do. That's so weird to me. I never zoomed out and looked at it like that. Kind of always took that for granted.
I also think that it's as much it's a marketing thing too, right? Because I'm like, whose department is paying for this? Also, sorry, so there's a creature on my lap. Speaking of cats who are kind of assholes, when you teach a cat something, it's like a child. So I've been spending more time at my desk, and so my cat is not really into that at all. So she has learned to ask to come up on my lap, and that is what she was doing before. Yeah. So,
but you got to pick her up because she's not jumping up there.
She's not. It's not a jumpable like lap. If she jumped on my lap, she would have her claws out to like cling on to like my thighs so she doesn't fall. And like, it's just easier if I pick her up. And so yeah, she is a secret new member of the podcast. So if you see
ever rotating fourth chair,
that's who it is. She would not allow me to pick her up any higher into the camera. So
Shout
But
out
yeah,
Holly.
this is also a huge thing about marketing too, because you would not have people if it just said across the Spider-Verse album, a huge amount of people would not listen to it. It is because it's the first thing you see is Metro Boomin,
Nope.
then Spider-Man. So like it's also like a marketing thing, like the like Kendrick Lamar's name being on Black Panther, like Future being on Superfly. It's also like a huge promotional thing, and I think that's where the biggest like I don't know like win for the culture is just like because you have people who have amassed this level of star power to begin to open these lanes. Um, is one of the few things in this world presently that gives me hope. You know, or
Oh,
maybe the people are just selling out, and I just am reading it all wrong.
if you like it, you like it. Especially if it's an artist that you like, and we love Kendrick
Mhm.
and we love Metro Boomin.
Yeah.
Some of us more
No,
than
it's
others.
That's true.
Before I start
Yeah.
yelling,
So I think we can I can remove like the artists and stuff from the movie if it's something that it feels forced. Maybe I wouldn't be like I wouldn't take to it. I wouldn't go out of my way to listen to it, right? But if these artists and producers, if they're included in the entire, like, not the entire, but in some aspect of the creative portion of the film, and if the soundtrack matches the flow of the film and the theme that they're trying to, the art that they're trying to create, I don't think it matters who it is.
Mm.
If the music is good and the music matches what the film is trying to, portray and put out, doesn't matter to me who it is.
So then that's a beautiful transition. So do you think this album does that?
Yes, absolutely. I think this album fits this film perfectly.
Beam, what do you think?
agree. He did a fantastic job. Metro Boomin did a great job, and that they
You got to
used the
imagine
songs
he
in the
for
movie
sure
it wasn't just the
thousand.
album itself. Like the songs were in the movie. At
Yep.
a fair length of the song too in the
Yeah.
movie.
I think for me, the movie made the album better. I was like, this is good, but like on the bottom tier of good. But after having experienced the movie, I'm like, no, this shit is incredible. Like, how dare I have held it in lower regard before?
Yeah, every track that they use and in context of what was going on in the film at the time they played that track, it's amplified. They did a really good job with that.
I think the first instance of the movie dialogue being in the album is on Annihilate, right? The like towards the end of the opening song,
Yep.
where or no, either Annihilate or Am I Dreaming? One of the opening
Annihilate.
right, and it's just like, oh, this is incredible, and they're just like, oh, this is the lobby,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like, oh, I like that is my favorite iteration of like the movie being in the album. Do you guys have a particular moment that does it for you with like on the album?
It's not my favorite track on the album, but the snippet at the end of Self Love, where Gwen's talking, she's like, "Yo, in every universe, like Gwen falls for Peter, and in every universe, it doesn't end well." And Miles is like, "Well, maybe it'll be different this time." I like that.
Oh, you hopeful little
But we shall not skip over how Coyle Ray killed that. She set up the perfect song, the perfect vibes. I don't think that, like, if you're really listening to her lyrics, right? She's long way from suburban towns, came to the city for love, right? That's exactly what happened. Like, she escaped whatever her universe was and came to the city with Miles, right? And he don't love himself, trying to love me. Like, all of that shit, it feels like it was all written in tandem with each other. Because this, like you said, at the snippet at the end, she's like, yo, this is how it works. And he's just kind of like, no, I don't really believe you. Like, let's just be free.
Like, what if?
Right.
Yeah.
So, and
Motherfuckers is
again,
out
that
here
goes back
having
to the
hope
point
beyond
of
hope.
the point I was trying to make of how this album was. There's like he had these. There's no way he didn't watch this movie before or like while he was creating this soundtrack. There's no way.
Mm-hmm.
How they were like how every track on this album is very meaningful when you put it side by side or next to whatever scene that they decided to play during the movie. It's I don't know. It's a perfect match. It fits so well together.
I would say it's close to a perfect match. I don't know if it's all the way perfect. But maybe some things just simply weren't for me because like certain points of the soundtrack have to be aimed towards younger people because Miles is younger, significantly younger than I am. Right?
Yeah,
like
there's some skips for sure.
Yeah. Like nonviolent communication.
Yo.
Oh my!
You know what? Ellen.
You know what? I am going to be the bigger person.
That's hilarious.
Nonviolent communication, you said?
Yeah, nonviolent communication, bad. Hummingbird, good. And that's all I've got to say on James Blake and this album. I can't objectively talk about James Blake. I love him way too much. So that's all I'm going to say about that is nonviolent communication, bad. Hummingbird, good. And that's all you're getting from me.
Yeah, that's fair.
How did James Blake not carry? Was it not good enough? Were you not feeling the ASAP Rocky 21 Savage?
Yeah, that's essentially what it was. Like the song should have just been another only James Blake song.
You already had one.
I don't care.
Selfish.
Just self-love. Just have James Blake do it.
No, I
Nas
mean,
Morales call it James Blake Morales. Just give him.
Hey, if it works,
calling
it works.
James Blake, annihilate James Blake.
I would be totally fine with just the full James Blake album. James Blake and Metro. James Blake taking the Metro.
Am I dreaming?
And you know what?
I'm dreaming of James Blake
just
singing this whole album.
Get rid of Metro. Just let James Blake do it. James Blake. And you know what? Across the Spider-Verse, it's now James Blake documentary. He's just going to do...
Come on now. I love it here. I love it here.
James Blake presents James Blake the movie.
Yeah. Written and directed by James Blake.
Executive produce. Oh wow!
Still distributed by Disney though, because they're not going anywhere.
Right, obviously.
That's hilarious.
But the James Blake branch of Disney.
I respect the standing of James Blake. That's fucking hilarious.
This is the pro James Blake podcast from now on. officially.
Okay,
I really liked. I was gonna say I really like Self Love. That was my top hit. In terms of song, that was my favorite song. I really liked, like you said, after the movie came out, Silk and Cologne got better because it was playing on the rooftop during the party.
Yep.
And now I was like, oh snap! Like I like Silk and Cologne. That shit was hot already.
Little dance hall, like Caribbean vibe.
Yep.
Seeing people of color on the roof dancing to it, right? And then like having it all seem very real and authentic. It's like, oh snap, yeah, I would actually hear this song on a rooftop in the city. You're absolutely right. So even the Offset verse didn't really, because Offset flowed on anything he get on. I really like Offset's verse on that.
Yeah, I thought that track before I saw the movie felt really out of place, and that for me was one of the skippables in the beginning. I'm like, yeah, this is cool, but like, what is this doing here? But then when I saw it in the film, I'm like, yep.
Absolutely.
Nas Morales got significantly better for me after. It, like along the similar vein, like, why is this here? Like, because I don't know the specific journey that Miles takes in the film. before the album came out. I'm just like, this is really good, but like I don't get this yet. There's no way that Miles Morales is like Nas level goated like right now from what I've seen. But like after, and I'm like, oh yeah, all of these bars make sense. Now, how did you got? Well, was that one of the standout tracks to you, Nas Morales, or how do you feel going into that?
I feel about Nas Morales how you feel about James Blake. Unable to feel, and not Nas Morales, just Nas in general. Like the show was set in the boroughs, and it's Nas, and he's been talking about that shit forever. He is the one who has been telling you what the boroughs have looked like. He's been doing it for 30 years. Like whatever and then he got his ear close enough to the culture to not sound too dated when he's spitting these bars about being Miles Morales. Like you actually did come in with, and then he name dropped New England. Spidey senses tingling, swinging from New England out to England. That's hard. That's hard. And you know he watched No Way Home, because if you look at the Spider-Verse, they was in England at a previous time, but they, you know what I'm saying? And never mind. I'm going too hard. We're not going to start yelling about the movie itself. But Nas Morales.
Why? We can.
They confirmed that Donald Glover is the MCU Prowler. And then
essentially, yeah.
The whole
that Miles basically derived from Donald Glover. We're going to talk about that.
Look, we can get down the rabbit hole that I've been seeing about this movie and the Spider-Verse in general. Like, I don't want to get too hype about it, just because I'm sure they're never going to give us the full crossover that we deserve. I don't even know.
I don't think they have a budget for that. I don't even think Disney has that much money.
Don't leave us. What is the full crossover we deserve?
The complete
what are you talking about?
Miles Morales, all three Spider-Men, like tie up the whole Spider-Verse in a big giant loop and say, yeah, we were always in the same universe, like all the time, forever, and like just give us that. When they're done with it, right? When they're ready to move on to the next Spider-Man, and they're gonna officially, because eventually they officially have to close out. I feel like this era of multiverse, Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland, like eventually you're gonna have to close that out. Like whether the niggas is not gonna come back to the mic and do voiceovers, they're not gonna suit up anymore. Something's got to happen. I don't know. They keep on like kind of teasing, and then the comment that Miguel made about the dumb one in Earth 1666 or whatever. We're not even going to get started on. So like, I like
Doctor Strange and the little nerd.
Right there you go. Yeah. That's what he said. Yeah. So
well, I forgot what they called it. Earth 199999 some shit. And I don't know how true that is, but I heard that that Sony didn't even ask permission to use it. They just fucking threw that in there.
Just did it hard.
I love that. As for
because what are you gonna do?
Permission. I mean, they still own it.
True.
I mean, I feel like they ran it by legal, and that's all you really need to do.
Yeah.
Now, I was turning into Beam a little bit, and so I was digging into the credits on the album.
Yeah.
And so, like, and we like to give the people behind the scenes the flowers. So, like, most of the mastering that I saw in the credits was done by Joe Laporta. So I have a link to his credentials in the episode notes. And like the interesting thing about this, I think for me, is that like looking at his catalog, he does electric, like pop rock type music, he also was on Coil Ray's album Beam. Another thing for you to be excited about. So like rap artists that are on this catalog within the last like year. So he Coil Ray, like I said, did mastering on that, mastering on Lovesick for Don Toliver. Not hip hop, but like pop. Oh, he did Will Nick Trust, Kid Cudi, Ty Dolla $ign. But
he was on Middle Child, J. Cole. Bank Account from 21 Savage's first album. He's Kodak, Offset, Young Thugs, the London, meet me out in London. Like he's everywhere in the hip hop sphere too. He does a lot of stuff.
So, and I think that, and also the influence, right? Because he doesn't do just hip hop, but like he's also other places. Like he also did some shit for like the Backseat Lovers, which is like a rock group that I really like. It's a good touch. Like it makes this album not just appeal to just like your typical Metro Boomin crowd. And then we also want to show love to the mixer at Ethan Stevens, not of Even Stevens. I'm sorry to tell you.
Beat me to it. You know me so well.
I do what I can, you know. And this man has been very busy.
He's Metro Boomin's in-house producer, or not producer, engineer. He's an in-house.
That explains it.
Boominati Worldwide. Yeah, so shout out to Metro for taking his boy everywhere he goes.
Yeah, listen, you find somebody that works
everybody's
for you
and
works
the
well
Disney
with
bag.
you,
or the Sony bag this time.
The Hollywood bag. I mean,
it's all of it, right?
If you could match a producer or an artist with an IP to give you a movie soundtrack combo, who would it be and why?
Jesus, bro, that's a good question. I would fuck.
So, let's see.
I'm going last because I gotta think about this.
I want to do something wild. So I want Vince Staples to receive the IP for, although I think he already created his own. What would I give Vince Staples? I would give Vince Staples Medea.
That's not bad.
Yep. Vince Staples would soundtrack and control or influence a Medea film. That's my pick. Applause for me.
Applause for you.
Thank you.
That's damn. I wish that one was on the docket. I would have thought about that more.
Yeah, sometimes these things just come up, you know, because that's how my brain works. Or
I'm
I'll just keep
giving
doing more.
Donald Glover and Louis. What is his name? Ludwig. I'm giving them something. I'm giving Donald Glover and Ludwig something. I don't know what I'm giving them. Maybe they can have whatever they want. Maybe they can. I would give
them Studio Ghibli. Like I would give them Howl's Moving Castle or some shit like that. One of those big imaginative worlds, or My Neighbor Totoro.
There you go.
That's what I would do.
I like that. Grave of the Fireflies.
Oh God!
That's it.
Give that
that's
to
my
James
answer. I just pulled that out of nowhere, but that's what I want. I want Donald Glover and Ludwig Göransson to do Grave of the Fireflies.
Oh man,
would it make sense? I don't know.
Probably. That would make it work. Cruz, are you ready yet?
I know who, but I don't know what movie or type of film.
Who's the universe?
Give me Joyner.
Fight Club.
I'm thinking that, or like, I'm trying to think of a movie, like a recent movie, because you gotta, if you got Joyner, you gotta talk about some struggle and
Django
some form
Unchained.
of drugs and movement, something. It's gotta be like a modern day Scarface or something like that. Something with drugs and guns and violence.
You know what? I heard Joyner's new single, and I know I see where you're going with this, because the narrative ability. What is it called?
Narrative
homie.
Ability? Is that a word? Broski. Yeah.
His ability to narrate. I don't know.
Very good.
Yeah. No, it was a no hook or anything like
and
that. He did just because he's done the I'm not racist thing, and then I haven't probably not been keeping up with him as much as you have in the meantime, but I have heard the singles from his newest album.
Yeah, which he's dropped a
He
lot.
does 12
Like, I
Years a
hope
Slave. How about that?
he doesn't need to drop. I don't know why he dropped like 5 singles off the album. Like, just chill, yo. Like I'm ready. I'm waiting, bro. I'm not gonna
So
not
he's
listen.
doing it.
I don't need to hear
You're
anymore,
falling
bro.
for the trap. That's exactly
I
what
don't
he
need to
wants.
hear anymore, bro.
Yo, Joyner fans are eating, bro. And then he gets people like if he does single releases. We kind of did that for By Design. You just people get hype, and then you drop the whole thing, and then it's in order, and then it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You starving right now though. You need that whole joint.
He did that joint with yeah, like I need to
give me all 45 right songs. You know he got 45 on that bitch.
Dude, yeah, those 5 songs that he released is drop in the bucket of the full album.
I think it's 18 songs.
Okay, so you are damn. He done gave you the information.
Come on, bro. I'm ready, dog.
Yo, okay. Now that's a rollout. That's a rollout for sure. Because he got my ass. Pause.
So give me Joyner on some gang shit, some like drug dealing shit, something. Because
what about Boys in the Hood?
Used to do before he started rapping was he was out there, flipping. I ain't talking about gymnastics.
Hey, are you a rapper by chance?
A little bit. Sometimes I gotta get back to it. But yeah, that's what I would take.
Benny the Butcher a season of the Golden Girls.
Shut the fuck up, yo.
let West Side Gun and Griselda do Goodfellas. Let them do
Yes.
Let West Side Gun and let Griselda do Goodfellas. Let them redo.
I was gonna say Players Club for West Side Gun, but yeah, Goodfellas. Oh fuck yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I feel like that would go hard. I feel like West Side Gun already makes movies in his albums.
Yeah, he probably does.
The narrative, just in terms of how the flow of his albums go, it does I can kind of envision the journey he's taking me on without visuals. Like he's very good at that. Metro Boomin is actually very good at that too. I don't know if y'all listen to Young Thug's new joint.
Haven't.
So yeah, talk to us about it.
Young Thug
there are like
dropped
2 iterations, right?
Yeah. Business is business, and I guess he has the original version of the album that came out, and then a couple of days later, instead of doing a deluxe, it was Metro Boomin's version of Business is Business. Metro Boomin presents Business is Business, and then he changes the track order, and he added songs. I don't know if he removed any songs from the original album, but I think he added 2 or 3 songs, and he rearranged the flow of the album. And in my personal opinion, the way that he rearranged the album sounds better in terms of bringing you in emotionally. Like he starts with the most glaring example I have is the label version of the album started with a Drake verse. All right, so we already know what you're getting at. You put on Young Thug's Business is Business. The first thing you hear is Drake singing, right? Hit. Everybody likes that. Metro came in, and he kind of put a more somber Young Thug track in the beginning, where he's talking about like being in jail. He's talking about, his actual experience rather than Drake singing about when Young Thug's going to come home.
Right, because we know that may never happen.
But we all like Drake verses. We all like what Drake sings. Like that's for the charts, right? That's for people who turn on Business is Business and oh my fucking God, that's Drake. Metro Boomin took the Drake verses and stuck them somewhere in the middle. So Drake just comes in and he comes out, and then it was. I feel like it was put together much better. Maybe that has something to do with Metro hanging out in these movie studios. That he's starting to learn how to craft a narrative of the songs that he plays and track listing, and because that stuff matters.
And really nailed down and hammer down on his arrangement.
So the thing about this, about Business is Business, is that before I went to start it had already been panned in the group chat. Like y'all had you and Cal or Seven, shout out to the kid, had just so thoroughly panned this album that I was
you guys were yelling about it in the Discord for sure.
And first of all, I love a good yelling. like when it's like a chorus of yelling about how mid something is. But what was one of the things you found like the least satisfying when it comes to business and business, or like a Young Thug project? Because you're the trap person. So if anybody is listening to like on a given moment, who is listening to what? If someone is listening to trap, it's you,
That's true.
right? Like these are like and also like this part of your summer, right? This is when you're supposed to be releasing the hot shit that gets you through the rest of the year. Um, so how do you feel like what do you feel was like one of the disappointments or for you in business is business?
So just like I was talking about, the arrangement of the original before I went back and listened to Metro's version, that the arrangement of the original was clearly just a cash grab. Like you're not giving me any sort of flow to what Young Thug is going through, because some of these songs were recorded years ago, right? But then some of the songs are, I want to say some of these songs were recorded from a jail phone. I think he's had some verses on that album that was from the jail phone. So like, the worst thing about Young Thug projects is that they're usually all over the place, because Young Thug is such a versatile artist. He can do the singing, he can do the trap singing, he can do the just rapping, he can rap about gangster shit, he can talk about having intercourse with ladies, right? He can, and it's all separate. It's not just like some other rappers who just throw all those topics in. Like if Young Thug wanted to make a love song, he would make a love song. He's got a country album, he's done country before. Like, so when they do these 17 track albums, you're just like, I'd rather it just be 6 of the same genre. Give me 3 albums of 6, because you're so versatile. But I'm listening to 21 Savage rap about killing somebody, which I love. Spinning the block multiple times. I love that low energy shit sometimes. And then you got the Young Thug jail verse where he's like talking, I guess sneaking. Like, I can't trust. Like, I thought this dude was my homie. I can't miss him. Like, he's had some bars like that in the middle of the album. So a bar like that on the original album was somewhere in the middle. Metro Boomin put Jonesboro first. So in the first track, you hear Young Thug say, I thought he was my homie. Now I can't miss him. Right on the heels of the Gunna controversy. That's what I want. I don't want the Drake verse. Yeah. I know the Drake verse.
That makes sense.
I know the Drake verse.
That makes sense. Yeah.
All of you hoes. Like, we love that. I love that Drake. So, like, when he does the singing shit.
Drake for the past 20 years.
Right. I mean, so that was a disappointment, the original. Then I listened to Metro's version, and then it made more sense. Like, he put it in a way where you're giving me what I want from Young Thug. You're grouping the songs together in a better way. First 4 songs are like a little somber, and then it goes up from there. And then it kind of just the way I feel about the album.
Okay.
I want to know more about Gunna and Young Thug rather than just giving me the Drake verse, because that's the topic of discussion.
Right.
What does Young Thug feel about Gunna? I want to know.
And they both released so close to each other.
Now, that's interesting. So, right, thinking about the release schedule, because generally it should not be something that is jarring, right? Because they've released around the same time before, right? Like, it's all part of, like, the plan. Everyone, because, right, we used to say before, everything is a rollout. Now, do you think there's some like spite or bitterness behind how close these 2 projects came out, considering the like perception? So we had Gunna June 16th, and then a week later, June 23rd, Business is Business. Now, do we think this was the original release for 2 projects from these people anyway, or have things shifted? Was this trying to be, was is business supposed to step on a gift and a curse, or were we supposed to keep playing them in concert with each other like we usually would.
So it's funny you mentioned that. There's actually a clip, like a voice clip going around where Young Thug is on a phone call and it sounds like a jail call. And he goes, well, I guess he's talking, the scenario of the call is that he's talking to Lil Baby and he's talking to Dirk. And he's like, I don't want y'all to say nothing. Like, I want y'all to respond on my album. Like, I'm gonna drop this spontaneous album on the same day he drops his album. I'm gonna name that shit Business is Business. Right? So this audio clip is floating around. It didn't drop on the same day. And some people are saying it's an AI generated voice. Right?
Right.
Because what is Young?
Because there's no fucking way.
Right? Yeah. Please roll your eyes. Right? Because now that's the new thing. Right? We've heard the songs. We've heard people getting their voice. Maybe some people are just coping. And Young Thug did actually say that. Like he said, I'm dropping a surprise album.
Now? That shit has gone. That's crazy.
He
but
said,
like, yeah, the thing is, it's like this, like how loosey goosey is your communications team? Because like again, everything is a rollout, so all of this had to have been very intentional. Like this doesn't accident. There's no such thing as an accidental leak.
Yep.
Especially like 3 high-powered people, like him, Baby, and Dirk. All 3 of you are on a non-secure line with the nigga with open litigation. Like that don't make no sense.
Yeah. So we don't know if it was real, but rollouts, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then
I got everybody talking about it.
Dirk was on, and we're not gonna get into the street shit. I don't know anything about it, but Dirk and Wheezy and a couple other people have come out on these interviews and like have low key called Gunna a rat. So could be real. Could be. We don't know. It's all just a big rollout. Do I think? What do I think personally? To answer your question, yeah, he dropped it close on purpose. Whether it was for spite out of optics, I couldn't tell you because I don't know. But
I mean, I feel like they're 2 sides of the same coin.
Yeah, right. Whether we'll never know, and that's the beauty of it. Whether it was for spite.
The only thing we do know is that the man's getting paid off both of them. So
that's true.
That's the only thing we do know.
He needs some money.
Are they under the same umbrella still or no?
Ooh, that would be interesting.
Or did one of these release like independently? I don't know, just because I haven't been following.
I only know that I heard. I know YSL. They're all supposed to be under YSL. Whether Gunna releases new album under YSL, I don't know. But I did hear on Gunna's album that he's not signed to Atlantic. He said that in one of his songs on the new album.
Because if they did, then like street shit aside, like they're fucking laughing all the way to the bank anyway.
Right, and that's also
so like I say that like obviously Thug's laughing all the way to his fucking cell, but he's gonna get something on he's gonna get something on his books out of it, you know. So
let's hope.
Yeah, I don't know.
So yes, Gift and the Curse was released through YSL 300 Entertainment.
Yep.
So we know that happened.
Which is wild to me.
And it's your own producers and your own label mates, or maybe not label mates, but people you've been collaborating with are not fucking with you. So you got to release
that. Is a wild civil war that's happening behind the scenes that we don't know about.
But now, here's the thing. Whereas the streets had, the feelings they had in regards to Thug's album, me, like, I don't really dabble in trap that much, but front to back, left, right, all the way around town, Gift and a Curse is fucking amazing.
I love it.
It's like, for you thinking about like ways in which you can read it, like listen to an album in like the context. You could just listen to an album, you could just read a book in just cold, right? What is just the sheer content of this and not related to anything else outside of the work itself, which is fine as a school of thought. But when you think about this album, at like to be released at this point in time, and like what he says on it is incredible. Like I I think like from it's not a long album. It's 15 tracks, and like he plays the 2 minute rap game. So like it doesn't feel like this arduous long experience of an album. It's just him, right?
No features.
No features, did not need them. And Mans is just like seriously saying the things that are on his mind and spirit.
He
Like
doubled down.
from the
He
first
doubled
track,
down.
like the first track, Back at It. I literally laughed out loud at like the first line. Back at it, smoking on the Scotty. This shit's starting to hit like it's crack. Boy got the rock and he asleep at the top like a crack addict. Like that's funny to me. Right? 2 racks just for the tank top. You niggas is pathetic. Back at it. Yeah, back at it. Like I don't, for those to be like the opening things, like back on your bullshit like you never left. Like you think about like the balance of the album. This opening track is like the gift of it, right? These are the things that I've been awarded because of where I've been and what I've been doing. But then you get into the deeper into the album, right? Like the curse of it, turned your back. I was just thinking, right? What he's talking about on those tracks talk about like the consequence of what he's doing. And this nigga balanced it out, right? And he didn't need a deluxe release alley oop from best friend, longtime collaborator to do it. So I say all that to say, and then before we get like into a deeper conversation about some of the tracks, you're a real person, right? Like the merch that Beam sent out. Gunna did not tell on you. You are not YSL.
You're not.
You're not.
You're a civilian.
He doesn't know you.
You did nothing wrong. Right? I don't know. Don't get too caught up in the street shit because you don't really want to. Sometimes you just got to take the content for what it is.
And then, so what do you make of this album and its content?
I love it.
I do. I'm not gonna start yelling, but I feel this album has this album. If you're listening to it and you're not too caught up in the narrative around it, you can tell that Gunna's been carrying. You could tell that on all of their collaborations albums, like the person who is getting on the hook is Gunna, the one who floats in with a bridge, the one who will give you a two-minute song and 2 great hooks on either side of one single verse, right? So I know y'all don't listen to much trap, but Gunna pops up a lot on Young Thug and Lil Baby and Lil Durk projects and Nav projects and Travis Scott projects and Drake songs with Gunna and Metro Boomin, and like he's everywhere, right? He's got songs with Playboy Cardi. He's got songs with Lil Uzi Vert. Like Gunna has been there the whole time. He was on, I want to say he was on Barter 6, like years ago, maybe, or somewhere around where Young Thug was starting to branch out away from Rich Homie Quan. Like Gunna has been.
And if he wasn't, he was definitely in the room with him while he was fucking writing, because all I hear is Young Thug flows for, I only sat with the album twice. I didn't really dig too deep. But you couldn't have told me that wasn't Young Thug. Like to, someone who hasn't listened to Gunna, you couldn't tell me that he wasn't Young Thug. His flows are the same.
They're basically brothers.
He was definitely in the room.
They hang out with. We've been hanging out with each other for years. All of them. Future, Metro Boomin,
it's such
Gunna,
an important puzzle piece.
They're all in
that
Atlanta
situation
together.
To be gone.
Yeah.
Like a huge puzzle piece to just like no longer have in the mix.
But then you drop a solo album with no features, and people are saying it's better than Lil Baby, Lil Durk, and Young Thug's album. And you did it so quickly after getting released. It's clear that it's clear that he made majority of the album, if not all of the album post-release, just because of the stuff that he's talking about. Maybe he had some ideas here and there. You could tell he's not writing
or
it.
actively writing during. Well, writing.
Right. So I hear what you're saying.
And
in his time away, I'm sure he was thinking about it. But you can tell just by the flow switches. You can tell just by like some of the missteps of lyrics. You could tell by hearing on one of the songs you could hear the fire thing at the fire alarm. You can hear it beep because the battery's low. Like my man came out the gate ready to put out this album and talk his shit and like kind of explain himself without explaining himself too much. He had a mission. He was on a mission. He came out of jail and he did it.
And there's a variety of producers on this album. It's like there are some people, like not very many, like thinking like trend wise, like I'm just scrolling through the Genius credits, and you know, a lot of people production wise were involved in the making of this album, which like does he need everybody else? Like interesting to like
his main producer basically called him a rat. So the Weezy,
and then released an album.
Yeah, go ahead.
And released an album without him.
Yeah.
Like
that was the two people combo, like where Metro has 21 Savage and Future, like it was Weezy and Gunna. And then they would let people in on their songs, right? It's always been Weezy. So now he just went to Turbo. I don't know if y'all heard Turbo.
Turbo's on.
Turbo is
one of the
main producer.
One of the few people that appear on the album repeatedly.
Producer?
Producer.
Just because I don't know. Okay.
But yeah,
also
it's
Georgia.
crazy.
They're all in Atlanta, Georgia together. Like everybody we're talking about here is pretty much in Atlanta with each other. But Turbo's done music for Lil Baby, of course, Travis Scott, Drake. Yeah, they're all just chilling together. So it's very interesting to see he's going to come out and put this specific album out so quickly after release.
Mm-hmm.
When he could have just ignored it, right? He could have just got in the studio and didn't say anything about it and just avoided it all.
Kept them moving.
That wouldn't have worked.
Wouldn't have worked. For me,
it wouldn't have worked. No one
he had to double down.
He had to double down.
I wouldn't even call this a double down. This is addressing it. This is not even a double down. If he does anything, if he would have released an extended edition in response to like whatever flack he felt he got, that would have been a double down. This to me is addressing it, like, and very honestly, truly, clearly.
Yeah,
like
I see.
He literally was just like,
it's only one release, but
one of his bars was like, "I paid these lawyers all this money. Why the fuck would I sit in jail?" Like, on one of the beginning part of the album, that's essentially what the bar equates to. Like, of course I'm not in jail. I pay all these lawyers
on the intro
all this money.
Back at it.
Like, fuck are you talking about?
I mean, he's like, I'm supposed to be making these anthems. I'm not supposed to be sleeping in a damn bunk. Like, I'm supposed to be out here making money.
Like, make it make sense,
like,
dummy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Now, is this your album of the year candidate?
No. It's probably.
Is it Across the Spider-Verse?
Eh.
If you say Coil Ray's album, I'm kicking.
I want to yell about
Coil Ray.
I want
not to shade Coil Ray, but mostly to hurt Beam.
Wow,
we like Coil Ray, but like we also like to hurt Beam.
Fair enough.
Jesus,
and that's why your second James Blake song sucked. You bastard.
That's fine. It's not fine, but it's fine. He released a new song and it's fucking trash.
Yes, I'm so happy for
me. Damn.
Nah, but what's your album of the year?
I don't know.
There's not that much to pick from.
Seriously,
we're halfway through.
Right? Like,
I have been. I will say, Gunna's album, "Gift and the Curse," and Ray Shrimmer's album are probably my most rotated albums. but I don't really.
Mm.
Rap has not been. There have been no peaks for me. It's just good.
Yeah.
It's just been good, and it was good last year, and it was good the year before that, and it's still just really good. I mean, I don't know if y'all
Cruz, any? Go ahead. What were you saying?
Go ahead, Beam.
I don't know if y'all saw the article where no hip hop releases have touched #1 this year, and we're seven
on
seven
Billboard.
months
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
And that's why
Which is a weird.
I started this
that's
conversation.
crazy.
Yeah. Because I think about that, and it's just like the tangent on the article was like, is rap dead? And I'm like, shut up talking to me, because like the street should be grateful, because that's all we did for the past 2 years was eat. Everybody major dropped within the last 2 years, and now everybody's on tour. Drake is on tour. Future is on tour. Kendrick just wrapped up his tour. Beyonce is on tour. All of these
Larry
albums,
June
we were
on tour.
Larry June,
Absol on tour. Lil Yachty on
Right.
tour. Yeah,
So we are not in the like. Rap is not in the place to be like niggas like are not releasing like no major artists really are releasing albums this year, and so like
let all the other genres,
right,
have their turn.
Now
like,
is your time
bro,
to come to the fucking front and enjoy your
and
time.
if you can't
in the
do it
spotlight.
this year,
right?
Then what does that say?
Enjoy your time now. So in preparation
even the
of
best
like
gotta
for
rest.
this conversation, right? I was looking through. Did y'all know? You probably didn't know, because why would you? Because it released on the same day as Gunna. Chingy had released an album. Chingy, right there.
No,
right there.
Please refresh my memory
there.
from 7th grade.
Right there. Right there.
Think your lip when you're talking, that's on your heart. Did he? Was it good? Give us the breakdown.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know. Why would you?
I just know that it
We're
exists.
gonna immediately stop this podcast and listen to the Chingy.
Okay,
album.
so I'll listen to the Chingy album
back.
when you
It'll be
listen
10
to the Mike
seconds for
Posner
you.
album, Beam.
But 1 hour for.
Yeah, there we go. That's what I thought.
The man walked across the country, bro. Who cares about his music?
We talked about it for literal months.
His music means
literal
nothing.
Months.
Damn.
Oh,
wow.
Oh.
You can't walk across America and expect people to care more about your album. Like, you walk across America. that's hard, bro.
Yo, but that's a rollout, bro. Come on. That's a rollout.
We talked about it
The rollout
for
is
months.
better than the album, bro.
You don't know that.
Wow, Jeff's yelling. We win. He's yelling. Look at him.
Shout out to
my
Mike Posner.
God.
I'm gonna listen to the album, bro. I got you.
No, you're not. Shut up, liar.
To answer, Jeff, I don't have an album of the year yet because there's been so few.
Release, yeah.
Seriously.
I wasn't gonna say it.
You gotta wait.
Yeah, I don't
gotta wait
think I
till it
do
goes up.
either. I think I gotta wait another 2 weeks. So I didn't know that I'm finally, unless Hip Hop DX, where I'm getting this from, link in the episode notes. Check us out online. Sundial by No Name is allegedly coming out on the 21st of July, which I will take as a personal birthday present to myself. So when she releases the t-shirt, vinyl, cassette, box set, I'm going to spend whatever she wants me to spend to buy it. And that's gonna be hard to beat that project for my album of the year, because Room 25 was the album of the year when it came out. So all she does is drop heat. I'm very excited.
I think if I were to go out on a limb now and give my album of the year just from releases that have released, it's Larry June and The Alchemist.
So
yeah, I think I'll go with that one. Will it reign supreme on December 31st? I'm not making that claim. But 7 months in, Larry June and The Alchemist. They gave me exactly what I needed.
Yo, so The Alchemist just dropped a project 2 weeks ago.
He does not stop working.
No, Unstoppable Force, and
When is he getting a movie deal?
he is.
That's a good one.
That would be
yeah.
yeah.
I used to love Earl Sweatshirt.
Who also
I used
drops?
to like Earl Sweatshirt. Now I'm just like, the growth he has and continues to make is just aligning him further and further from me, and I'm just like, no, no, no. But yeah, I don't think I think F65 by IDK would be my album of the year so far. I love IDK. But yeah, I didn't even make it through the Alchemist album. I was just like, I don't know if I was in the mood for like rap like that.
Was that this month?
Because like
or June, I guess?
Yeah, the end of June probably. But to like have Earl Sweatshirt on the opening of your album and I don't immediately fall in love, I was just like, something's wrong with me.
Damn. I've been waiting for the I don't know pun, but it's not. I don't know that it's ever gone.
It's not gonna happen. Flying High, the EP, is the Alchemist's latest Flying High EP. Now I'm gonna try to. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add it to my traveling playlist. So when I go back to Connecticut next week, I will just like all the downloaded songs. So I can just take it in the airport and just chill with it, and then I'll be able to give like a real, my true feelings. But at the time, wasn't working for me. Although obviously the production continues to work, never misses.
So
never misses.
Other releases that I've listened to this year, Killer Mike. Have y'all?
Oh, Michael,
touched the Killer Mike.
That's the name
Michael.
of the album.
I mean, I know. Well, I don't know if y'all have listened to him or would listen to the album, but there was and is a Killer Mike Andre 3000 collaboration.
Oh yeah,
Engineers and Scientists.
Well, now that you say that, yes, I will listen.
and yeah, it's that song is really good. It has future Andre 3000. It's a Killer Mike song. Andre 3000 does what he does. The album is pretty good.
As long as he's not just saying the same thing for 5 minutes like Kanye made him do that one time. I'll be happy.
Well, Killer Mike is a rapper's rapper. So I think that you, Cruz, specifically may like it. It in times gets Killer Mike is a very political forward person. Sometimes it does leak into his music, where he'll talk about healing the Black community and what we need to do to better ourselves. But then, like the next song, he'll talk about putting you on a T-shirt. So it's a little jarring. It's a little jarring.
You get a little bit of both.
Get you someone who could do both.
Yeah, but he's like I said, he's a rapper's rapper, so it's a good listen. He's like I wouldn't say as good as Royce, but I get the same sort of feeling from listening to their music. Like you're telling me something, and I want to listen to what you're saying because you're not just making music; you're actually trying to tell me something.
You're not just rhyming words.
Correct. Yeah. So that was another one that I've been listening to.
2 Boldy James drops this year that I specifically appreciate. But
didn't he drop at the top of the year?
Top, and I want to say 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago. My non-hip hop album has to be Valentine by Black. Sorry, Daniel Caesar. This is still a very pro James Caesar podcast. But
sorry, James Blake.
I mean, I'm just trying to give credit where credit is due. And Valentine by Black, because we think about like this is his second full album, and he legit took, I want to say, like 4 or 5 years off in between, and like rap sings about like change and being like he's literally living what he like sings raps about, right? Like becoming more open, like appreciating yourself, learning things, using what you learn, go to fuck therapy, like all of that shit. And he's still making like really good and relatable music without sounding like preachy, and like he still gets in this like humble brag bag. So my non-rap would be Black, followed by Daniel Caesar. So
Gonna add that to the list.
definitely do that, and then we'll talk.
That's what
about
I've been
more.
doing. I've just been
Oh,
grabbing everything you guys have been saying.
and then another thing we just got to put on the list of things that everyone should know about. And this was put on my radar by one of my students because I saw it and I just totally forgot until just now. On Top of the Covers by T-Pain is an album of covers by our one true savior T-Pain. So we got to come back. Everybody's got to listen to that.
Yeah, I can.
That was a March drop, so we're kind of late.
I just followed him on Twitch, like for real this time.
And you were doing it for play the other time?
I was doing it mostly off of
immediately unfollowed.
I was like, I'm gonna follow you because like I like you. You're giving me a lot of songs and like you're very active for creators, like that kind of follow.
You deserve
my follow type of, because you're building your Twitch and you're doing great things for people, so you deserve my. But like, not actually tune in.
He's very
some of his streams.
He's another one who's very for the creator.
I love it. So thank you for bringing this up because I love T-Pain and I will support him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We won't support Mike Posner, but we will support T-Pain on this podcast.
I'll put out that my I didn't know we were differentiating, but my non-hip hop release of the year is Skrillex's "Don't Get Too Close" album. I still like.
Is that the second one?
I think that was the second one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I like that one more.
That one is still in rotation for me as a non-hip hop when I get in my electronic bag.
It'd be like, yeah.
I'm gonna find Houston's deep house scene where the people are in warehouses doing Molly, and I
hope you don't
I'm
find
not
that.
gonna partake in that, but I want to be there with that music.
It's too hot to be, I'm
not gonna find them now.
More,
maybe I'll find them in like October or November,
fucking December,
right when it's 80 degrees out and comfortable.
Right.
Nasty. I will be waiting for Joyner to drop, and I wrote all my homework down for all of the great suggestions you guys made because I have not had my ear to the streets.
No, you haven't.
Out of all of Joyner's singles, do you have a favorite?
If I had to choose, man, I'm between Devil's Work 2 and Broski, man. Those are both very good songs. I don't know who it is that he has singing at the beginning and end of Broski.
Me.
But God bless them.
Thank you.
Because he's not credited, whoever it is.
It's because I'm very humble. Just send me the check.
Yeah. It is between Devil's Work 2 and Broski right now. I like the same theme that he had with Devil's Work, but the change in stance that he had of not wishing death on people. He wasn't wishing death on people, but like, yo, take fucking Suge and give me back Pun. Or
I remember that song.
He was like, well, he made a part 2 to it, and it's actually really good. But his different stance on it was more so like, I don't want to trade lives, but can we just go back in time and change some things? That
these lives.
No.
Instead of
take the Will Smith slap back and let them have it out backstage. Like, yeah.
Ooh, anything that addresses the Will Smith slap in the year of our Lord 2023, we can't abide.
Yes, we can.
No, we can't. No, we can't.
I can.
I
this
remember
podcast has complicated feelings about Joyner Lucas.
he came out with that song, and old blonde girl from Fox News was up in arms. Did they have like an interview or something where they was going back and forth? She was tight, bro. I remember that.
Yeah,
He go hard too.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, Broski and Devil's
I
Road
like
2
Broski more.
but all of the singles that he dropped they're not skippables for me.
Nice. I love that for you. So
I feel like, Jeff, if you haven't heard, you might like the future feature.
I'm just gonna take
If you
your
haven't
word
heard
for
it
it.
yet. All right, that's fair.
I like
That's
the future feature.
Yay! Someone's got to, So, are we looking forward to anything between now and the next time we pod, gentlemen? I will have been gone and back again, gone to the Great North, where I will eat pizza and lobster rolls for 7 consecutive days.
Pizza and lobster
before
rolls.
I have to come back to Houston, where I will go back to eating tacos, barbecue, really good sushi, and everything else that is amazing down here, which is everything except
And Mambos.
Can't wait. We're swinging the block. We're going back to Mambo's for my coworker's birthday. So I will be going back to Mambo's in a few months. So I'm excited. What about
Actually,
you guys?
when you come back up here, there's this Hot Topic sister store called Box Lunch. They just opened one up in Milford Mall, and they have dope, like pop culture, like figures and merch and stuff, and anime figures and merch and stuff. Check it out.
I need the picture of Cruz holding several boxes, cumbersomely holding several boxes. The top
of how am I going to get all this home?
The top of the toppest box hits the door on his way out, and it all falls over behind him and goes.
There's someone with a trombone behind me.
So please give that to the streets when he buys too many items of merch, too many statues.
When Jeff comes,
help him put up his shelves for more stuff. Merch God,
now,
merch God.
I'm gonna buy some like stuff. You have to come down to Texas to help me put up shelves.
I don't got to do a goddamn thing. I will gladly help you because you're my brother and I love you, but I don't have to.
That's fair. That's fair. Beam, what about you? Looking forward to anything? Any travels? Setting the sail?
Yeah, both things. I'm headed to San Diego soon. I'm not gonna say when because I'll be everywhere and nowhere at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
But we headed to the West Coast, and I'm gonna be knee deep in fish tacos, and I might set sail. Think about doing some whale watching, right? Because I'm cultured. I like.
You're gonna do whale watching?
Whale watching. Yeah, I'm gonna go out on a boat.
No, you can't do that. They're tipping boats over.
I will whale watch.
Whales have learned to tip boats.
I will.
Yeah. No, the animals are getting their lick back. Did you not hear?
No, I only heard sharks.
Orcas and dolphins.
I heard sharks were wild.
Sharks were going back eating people. But whales.
Sharks are actively avoiding orcas.
Whales
they won't
and
return
dolphins
to the same spot for years if they encounter an orca. Yeah, orcas are not fucking around.
They are tipping boats and buffet. No, yeah, they're getting their lick back with white people. The planet is coming for them. Bro, Google it.
I will.
Actually, I'm gonna tell Jalissa. She already has the article saved.
Not surprised.
Like,
you guys love that shit.
I promise this is the wrong time to get into the water, my nigga.
It has always been the wrong time to get into the water.
Don't do that.
Ugh.
That's not true. We had a great time in the Bahamas. That shit was awesome.
Because that's not orca native waters.
I mean, maybe, but there was a sea turtle down there. That shit was cool.
Ooh. That's pretty cool. I'm jealous. Are you going to go see the sea turtle again soon in the Bahamas, Cruz? Are you also going on vacation or something?
We're doing another staycation at the end of July where we have a bunch of day trips planned out already.
Nice. Which one are you most looking forward to?
Boston Aquarium or New England Aquarium.
Nice.
I think we're gonna do like an overnight. We're probably gonna get a room up there,
Mm-hmm.
wake up, do the aquarium, and then drive back.
Okay, that's solid.
Yeah, we recently did the zoo. The Beardsley, it's like 2 seconds up the road, and then we did Maritime
Classic.
a couple weeks ago.
Classic. Beardsley Zoo is classic.
Yeah, summertime, man. The kids are off. You know, you gotta can't keep them in the house the whole time. They can't be me in the house all the time. You know, so. And for anyone who's in Connecticut listening, if you have kids or if you know a kid, I want to say most, if not all, museums, aquariums, and we only have Beardsley Zoo, but most museums and aquariums are free with the kid. So if you have a niece or nephew or a little cousin or something, they're free tickets. We went to the zoo for free.
Fire.
We're going to go to Maritime for free. It's only for the summer.
Word.
We might do Mystic again just because it's free.
Right.
Love it.
Because why not?
So
spin the block.
love me. Free is me. So yeah.
That's dope.
That's all we got planned.
Have you been to the Peabody Museum?
No, but that's on the list. There's a Peabody Museum, and then I think there's I don't know, I think it's like a Native American museum in Connecticut or something like that
Nice.
Denise was talking about. And then
Look at y'all. You're going to have sex cultured kids.
there's, I don't know if it's like a science or like aerospace kind of thing. I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff on the list, but yeah, we got a lot of stuff for the kids to do this summer. And then there's always Six Flags and amusement parks.
That's dope. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is your boy Jeffanity, the host that Stay Doing the Most, brought to you by NickBeam, man of the people, your favorite rapper, and last by legal, contractual, friendship obligations, ComoSeDiceCruz.
Yes, sir.
Again, we are the Bad Kids Pod, coming to you another again. Keep it funky, keep it fresh. We are out of here. Be sure to check us out online, BadKidzPod, BadKidzPod, for all that exclusive online content, episode notes, more tidbits, other things, and we out.